CES 2023, where we saw a new Atari console, we heard about Unico's Phoenix 26-inch monitor, and we experienced some Arcade1Up disappointment. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Another episode of This Week, episode 87, the show where we talk about what happened last week and we look forward to what's going to happen next week. And man, do we got some stuff to talk about tonight. So hope everybody's having a good time. Hope everybody is enjoying their weekend and getting ready to go back to work tomorrow. And I said disappointment from Arcade1Up. Did you experience disappointment from Arcade1Up? I think a lot of people had a lot of different ideas of success, generally, overall speaking. So did Arcade1Up hit one of those criteria for you? Was it a success? Did you get what you wanted? Did you find some things that were interesting? And did you see some other stuff from other companies that were also kind of interesting? If you were maybe disappointed with Arcade1Up, I'm not going to speak for you. I'm just going to speak for me. But you are going to have a chance to speak for yourself when we talk about the poll question that is up every week. We have a poll question. Jump up over here at the top of the chat. And it's a simple question this week. How would you rate Arcade1Up's CES? Didn't have a booth, but they did have, they had some interviews. They had some CNET people in there shooting footage of some of their new products. We actually had a couple guys from the community actually make it and check out some of those new Deluxe cabinets, as well as the Infinity tablet. I think that's what I'm going to call it. They got to see some of that stuff. But how would you rate it? Okay, so I've got 4 options for you. 1 is incredible. They did a great job. Number 2 is good, fine. Slightly above average. And then the 4th option is disappointing, not the end of the world, but, it's disappointing. And then 4, your last option, your 4th option is complete failure. So anywhere wherever you fall, please jump up there, let your voices be heard, click on that. Let me know how you feel. Let me know if I'm just sort of in the same camp, or maybe I'm an outlier. Maybe I'm just a little bit different. But I want to know where you fall, and I'll tell you, well, you're probably going to figure it out a little bit later in the show. 77 votes. I want to know everybody's honest opinion. Where do you fall? Realistically, there's a lot of back and forth, but when you look at their whole presentation in totality, beginning to end, you look at all of it, you got to consider everything, right? What was your overall opinion of it? Talked about the poll. Let's talk about what I'm drinking tonight. I'm drinking this. Okay, so sometimes you get a drink out of a bottle that's really cool, but usually you get like this cool bottle, but the bourbon's garbage, or the great bourbons come in very plain, generic looking bottles. This is definitely that rare occasion where the 2 stars, the planets have aligned, and I got a cool bourbon inside a very cool. Very cool. Now, this was sent to me by my brother who lives down in Texas. And come on, look at that. Look at that. It kind of reminds me of a tank round. It's obviously a lot smaller than a tank round, but this is so you've got like the bottom of like a shotgun shell, or any kind of round really. And then it's wrapped with a snake. I'm assuming this is the do not tread on me snake. Come on. And this is sick. It's got a cork, not a spin on. American barrels. Down, and it's actually a bottle down there in Owensboro, Kentucky, just down the road from me. How does it taste? It's pretty good. It's not bad. So if you see that, you definitely want to pick that up. Give that a shot. And when you're done with it, you'll have a really awesome bottle to show off on a shelf somewhere. And that was sent to me by my baby brother. And it's pretty awesome. He's working, he works out in the oil field, works a month on. He's only home for a couple weeks. And so he thought enough of me, the old guy, to send me. He said, you know what? That guy needs a drink. So he sent me that. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate having him in my life. Hopefully you have somebody nice, kind, and considerate enough to send you a drink, because it just definitely does hit the spot. And if I ever needed a drink, it's tonight. Boy. I have some things to discuss. Also, I wanted to make mention, if you saw me on the live stream with the guys, we were talking about the Blitz hat. We were trying to bid on it. I was actually giving this the viewer, the person that had the auction site on eBay actually canceled that and said, listen, hey, who wants this? Well, we had the drawing on the live stream. I won, and so he actually sent this to me. Thank you so much. I did receive it. It's awesome. But I know what you mean. We were going back and forth, messaging each other, and he said, yeah, I just can't wear it because it doesn't really fit my head. And I can pull off some of them, but this one is a little bit bulky. It's a little bit bulky up here, up top, but it's definitely going to be on display. Probably over the Blitz cab. Makes a lot of sense. So thank you so much for sending me that. That was awesome. Didn't charge me a thing, guys. And I don't want to say his name because I don't know if that's his YouTube handle. I can't be doxing people like Michael B. Okay, he just does that. He doesn't care. So, but anyway, yeah. So we got some stuff to talk about. We got stuff to talk about. Before we get into all that, if you saw my last video, just posted yesterday, it's doing pretty well. So that lets me know that some people are seeing it, some people are liking it. It was a little bit different. It was more of a, I want you to go on a journey with me to see what I picked up. It wasn't just, hey, here's the thing I got. Here it is in the house, and kind of the usual stuff that I do, where it's like, hey, this is the problems. This is how I fixed that. I wanted you to kind of go with me because I think that what we do in this community, this hobby, it's a little bit different than just gaming in general. I'm not trying to belittle any kind of other gaming, but when you want a rare game, you can find a guy, you can find it online, they can wrap it up and they can send it to you. You can't always do that with an Arcade1Up, an Arcade, or a full-size arcade, which is what I picked up the other day. It's definitely a journey. It's definitely a commitment. I had to go up there with a trailer and it actually ended up being closer to 8 hours by the time it was all said and done to drive up there and back and get that home. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen the video yet, but just go over there and check that video out. I would appreciate it. And let me know what you think about the format. Also, let me know what you think about, or let me know about your journeys that you've had to take to try to go find that thing, that one cabinet that really caught your eye, and you heard about some guy, some girl, somebody had it, and you had to go on a long journey. Let me know what you just let me know about that, because I think this is something that kind of is unique to our hobby, and it's something that kind of binds us together, and it's like a badge of honor. How far did you have to go to get that cabinet? Well, let me tell you a story. And you get the drink. You always have to have the drink, and you tell the story of, yep, I had to go 10 hours to go get that. Yep. Took my truck, and then I got to a river or an impassable gorge or something. I had to skydive. I had to hang glide across to get there. And yeah, you just make up, that's not what happened, but you say that. And then they go, wow. And then you pour them another drink, and then you talk about it. You look at it, it's just it's the way you do it, But no, I'm being honest with you. The skydiving part or the hang gliding part comes later, because then the story gets old. So you got to freshen up a little bit, got to jazz it up. You got to say that, something happened and you were on fire, or the car you were driving was on fire, or the building that it was in was on fire, and you had to go in and rescue it from certain doom. So maybe that's what I'll be. Okay, 5 years when I tell this story, that building that I got this out of was on fire. That's what we're going to do. So, yeah, so got some stuff to talk about tonight. I talked about the poll. Please let your voices be heard. Jump in there and vote. Let me know what you think about that. I talked about the drink that I'm drinking. Okay, I'll go ahead and say it. I'll go ahead and address it. I know it's going to come up in the chat. Fox, how about them Cowboys? They're garbage. They were garbage today. And I'm telling you, it's the mark of a team if you play that poorly against the team you're supposed to beat. And I mean, they were garbage. And I don't care if you already got your, we got a slot. We're guaranteed a wild card spot. We're going to the playoffs. Okay, but this is how you're going to end your season. Just a putter across the finish line. It was embarrassing. It was sad, and they can do better. But I don't think they're going to do better this year. I think they're probably going to lose in the first round. I think Tom Brady, they're going to go up against the Bucks, and Tom Brady he's older, so it takes him. He's like a diesel engine. He's got to get going. Now that he's going, he's looking pretty good, and probably going to lose in the first round. So let me go ahead and nip that in the bud right now. Just let you know. And yeah, I'll be supporting him next year. It is what it is. It's a lifelong commitment. Sad, pathetic, but still a commitment. So anyway, let's say hi to everybody in the chat. We got the first one coming up, Gotham City Arcade. Hey, battle. I am very disappointed in Arcade. Very. Threw a very in there. Very disappointed. Arcade1Up started in 2023, but I am going to be looking forward to CES 2023 because I believe there will be better titles to get the community hype again. I hope so. I really, really hope so. You're probably thinking about the CES next year. Yeah, maybe. A Tran Fanatic, what is going on? Hey, Fox and everybody. I had to call into work on Friday due to a nasty that's horrible. Fever, aching, and weak all over. Get yourself checked, buddy. Just getting over it today, and I feel much better. See you a little later. I'm so glad you're feeling better because that's rough. That is absolutely rough. Shannon Zahn says, hey, Fox, excited for you that you got your... They said it. Trying to find my own Grail games too, special when you do. And I'm really disappointed that Arcade1Up did not put any new game on these Deluxe cabinets. That's we're going to talk about it. We're absolutely going to talk about it. David Phillips says, I am up again. I'm up against the rear window for my Best Buy Golden Tee 3D, still in the box, even at $489. Not quite good enough with me having to go extra steps to get that monitor up to snuff. I agree. When you pay that much money for something, especially if it's brand new, you should not have to go that extra mile. You shouldn't have to do the monitor swap that I did. You shouldn't have to. But at the time, I thought that was the best we were going to get. And I think for Golden Tee, it's probably it. I don't know when they're going to revisit that. I don't know if they're going to have a new iteration. They could do some kind of a. You remember the Game Boy SP, and they came out with the Game Boy SP, and they came out with a better screen. So everything was exactly the same, except they have a better screen, and that was like on the box. And they changed the model number, so same Game Boy, better screen. You could have you could advertise it. You could put an IPS in the Golden Tee, and you could just brand it. Just make that your branding. It's the same exact cabinet, just with a better screen. Call it. You don't have to call it 2.0 or anything. You just have some sort of a branding. Say, ooh, look, with a better monitor. And I mean, why not? Why not? I mean, if you're going to make an improvement like that, just blast it, showcase it, tell the world, now with a new monitor, now just something, I think that would definitely go a long way, and also eliminate a lot of confusion when people are buying these products. Dan Z says, hello there, Fox. Good luck in the playoffs, I guess. Not tonight, because there was no luck involved. I got to root for my folks. Home team, Tampa. That's okay. That's all right. It's all right. May it be a good game, Brady versus Prescott. The Bucs going to win. The Bucs going to win. That's just wait. Yeah, thank you. I can always count on you, Stock Jock. Thanks so much. I'm thinking like laser. Rad Lays. 71 says Washington put a hurt on them boys today. They did. Washington showed up to play. Cowboys were like, playoffs. Not good enough. Constorm Entertainment. I am not really sure why people are surprised by the lower CES showings. Remember, this is a year opening event. If they don't have to do their big reveals in January, they won't. Although the summer is where they should be really focused. That's when the reveals happen. Let's hope so. Michael Hoggins. Michael Hoggins Sr. Good evening, Fox. We've got to shake off a fellow brother in pain. I know. I'm with you. We're going to shake off the Cowboys' loss today, and good looking forward to the stream. They've got to get better. 6 points. It's the same team that went toe-to-toe with the Eagles, the best team probably in the whole NFL, the entire league, and won. And they just laid down today. I mean, there's just no excuse. That's not a disciplined football team. And disciplined football teams do not win. They don't go to the Super Bowl, let alone win it. Jason says, I'm just happy about the new Deluxe cab designs. That's what I've always wanted. Dragon Gamer says the new stuff, sadly, will be near the end of the year when Arcade1Up wants people to spend money on Christmas gifts. Prince Vinny 007. Yawn. They took forever to make the Deluxe cabinet. Glad it's here, though. You're probably in the good camp, maybe disappointed. I don't know. That's why I'm really curious to see where everybody's going to vote. I think it's going to really help me figure out where people are really at. When you think about, okay, was it just good? Was it just fine? Was it just average? Or was it actually disappointing? That's the seesaw that I want to see everybody teeter on. Bond 008A says, still not sure why Arcade1Up hasn't improved buttons and joysticks. Don't call it Deluxe and controller, putting cheaper parts in it. Yeah, like don't call it Pro. I mean, going back to that, I mean, they made some strides on the Pro, but I don't know, just not good enough. Mike Hawkhart, what's going on? Hi, 19K Fox. I think to grade Arcade1Up CES, we're going to give them trust that there will be cabs with new titles announced later this year. You can't do that. Do not cop out, Mike. Come on, you're better than this. We have to judge them on what they presented. I'm not talking about their year. I'm not talking about they may have a great year. They may have a bunch of stuff just waiting. It's about to fall over. It's this mountain of awesomeness. That's not what I'm talking about. Just CES. The Consumer Electronics Show. What did they show? That's what I'm talking about. They may have a great year, but I'm just talking about CES. I'm just talking about CES right now, the way they're kicking off the new year. Dark Empire says, happy Sunday, Fox. Enjoying the Die Hard cab. Absolutely. You spoiled it, but that's okay. Thank you for always over on Twitter retweeting for me, liking. Guys, it really helps out if you can do that. If you're on Twitter, not everybody uses Twitter, and I totally get it. I understand it's a bit of a crap show. kind of a drama fest. But if you happen to be on Twitter and you see me tweet that, it'd be super cool if y'all could just retweet it, send it out there. It helps kind of get people into the show. Now, whether they stay, because I'm a bit of a handful, that's kind of on me. At that point, it's on me, right? The man, Anthony Vitale, how you doing? Arcade1Up CES 2023. So excited for more Pac-Man. I'm picking up on your sarcasm. Probably because you're laying it on pretty thick. The king of renders. Thank you so much for stopping by, buddy. Thank you so much for stopping by. The real Zim says, what's up? Nothing much. Except an octave just went up in the old or went up an octave is what happened. La, 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 la. There we go. We're back. Motown Philly back again. Crazy old Maurice. How you doing? Aloha. Are you in Hawaii? Are you in Hawaii like all the time? Or are you in Hawaii for vacation right now? Scott Lee says, hey, 19K Fox. PD7. Hey, Fox and chat. Have a great show. I'll catch the replay. Go Pack. I'm actually pulling for them tonight. I hope they do well. Aaron Rodgers stole my heart. Let's scroll down a little bit. Tammy G is in the house. Hey, hope everyone is having a good weekend. Absolutely. MG, everybody. 19K Fox, swiggity swag. I appreciate it. Yeah. Jump on over to the store. If you are so inclined, if you got a couple dollars to spend and you want to support the channel, jumping over to my Teespring. Link is in the description. Or I can put it, I can put it up a little bit later. But yeah, definitely swing over there, check it out. If you want a 19K Fox teacher, if you want some kind of a thing that says, hey, I know that guy, Fox, that makes stuff, that's the place to do it. Check it out. Cobra Kai says, good evening, Fox. Let's nerd. Let's do it. Let's nerd. Nerd is the word. Nooner, what's going on, buddy? Howdy, Mr. Fox. And as a Seahawks fan, go Lions. No pack, no. I love this time of year. It's actually really, really fun. VQ is life says, very disappointed in Arcade1Up for CES. And by the way, I think they have the power for Street Fighter Trace. He said 3. I said Trace. So I was trying to sound cool. Didn't come off. Didn't really land. Brooklyn Menace, what's going on, my brother? He says fire with something. There's a face in the middle that doesn't look happy. I'm thinking he might not be happy with Arcade1Up. But I want to put words in his emoji's mouth. Bobby Timpson says, anyone see the update video on the Buy Stuff Arcade Ridge Racer games list? I don't know, but I'm going to check it out after the show. Absolutely, because they're doing good stuff at Buy Stuff. Johnson Naven, R25. My Broncos ended on a win. That's good. That's good. That's always good. My Cowboys did not. Just meh said, great diehard pickup. Thank you so much. I'm glad everybody is enjoying the video. The Cincinnati 19K Fox is in his house. Yes, I am in his house. I woke up here, knock on wood. Another day, waking up on the right side of the grave. Midlife Arcade. Happy Sunday indeed. Let me scroll down just a little bit. So much going on. I think I might have actually skipped by. Is that the first one? I think hold on. We're not going to do this again. I missed a super chat the other week and I was none too happy. Let me scroll down because I think that we might have. Wow. You guys are chatting like a crazy chatter. Sorry. I don't know. I was trying to think of something and it just went right over the head. Biggie D's Arcade. What's up, guys? What's going on? Biggie D had a good video earlier today. It premiered talking about some of the issues we're going to talk about tonight. Definitely go check that out. Formula Fox says, I rate it Arcade1Up CES as good. It wasn't brilliant, but it showed that they're not sitting still and that they're still hammering away at things. And that's never disappointing. A good take. Absolutely. Paul. He says, odd looking cabs with rehashed titles and casino cabs with 10-inch screen. No, thanks. I don't think he's going to pre-order. I don't think Paul's not pre-order. Lee Bauer says, hey, Fox, the Deluxe cabs look amazing, but wish Arcade1Up did that redesign or did that design from the very beginning. Absolutely. I think a lot of people are saying that, but hindsight's 2020. Bob, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? Good to see you. El Capitan says the Commanders. Okay. All right. You won, but your mascot sucks. What do you think about that, huh? C Marvel 360 says, from the little I have seen of the new class of 81, I'm interested enough to upgrade to it. If the emulation isn't up to what I expect, then I could just return it. But I'm excited for the new look. A lot of people are definitely saying that for sure. Goofy Foot says, I call them enablers. and then he took a drink. You're not far off. You're not far off at all. Let me scroll down just a little bit. P-Dubs in the house. Fox, welcome back. Thank you. Thank you. I made it back safe and sound, buddy. It was a treacherous journey through, middle America. flat Ohio. Let me scroll down real quick. I know I got, here he is. This guy in the chat dispensing with the great advice. Listen, smash the like button. Smash it. It's the right thing to do. We have a 99-cent super chat from the Miss Martin Muses. Thank you so much, dear, for stopping by the channel. It is always good to see that Rose in this place. And for that 99 super chat, you're not going to go there. No, I can't do that to you. What am I going to do? How about a strong female role model? Here you go. And speaking of strong female role models, Sheila is in the house. Sup, Foxy? Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. And I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed your new segment, your new series, I guess, talking about arcade legends. And it wasn't the people in the video; it was what the people in the video were talking about. So you have to go check out her channel. And I appreciate people making good content. I also appreciate this $5 super chat from David S. What's going on, buddy? $4.99. Thank you so much for that super chat, Fox. Chances of a golden tee. CouchCade, loved the new cabs and the Atari. You got me thinking now. That wouldn't be terrible. I mean, the concept of just sitting there with a beanbag on your lap and a very simple controller is not weird. It's not crazy. Actually, the whole concept really of a beanbag on your lap playing with, a joystick, like an actual full arcade setup is not it's not weird. It's the way that they executed it, they implemented it, just the way that it was just not done to the quality that I think you would expect. And I don't know if they can do that wirelessly. I just don't think that they're there. Overall, P-Dubs thought it was trash. Watch the end of the video, he'll tell you. But I don't know, buddy. I don't know. I don't hate it. I don't hate the idea. But I don't know. I kind of would like, okay, what about this? Take the projectorcade, get rid of the projector, just the podium, the stand-up podium, and a deck with all the like everything from the XO cab, the Golden Tee XO cab, and just have the control deck right there. And then you just have an HDMI and you plug it right into a TV, just your TV. So you could set that up in your game room, nice and easy, tie it up against the wall, and that's kind of the same thing, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be kind of the same thing? You still get the opportunity to kind of stand up and actually golf. I don't know. I think they really screwed up the CouchCade. I think they had something, but then they immediately lost it. So yeah, it is what it is. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I really do appreciate it. But unfortunately, you are going to the pit.
Finish him. Molina wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
I think he's going to shake that off. I think Dave's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. He's going to come back. He's going to come back stronger than ever. Ralphie Durham, what's up, Fox? Good evening to all. Console Fanboy says, greetings. Put a little angs on it, didn't you, buddy? Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Chris Lang-Lois says, going to be a crisp show tonight. I can feel it. I will never use that word to describe my show. They've ruined crisp for me. Also, listen, this is something they have to consider. This is something they really need to think about. If you're going to be a global company, crisps, that's what they call potato chips over in England and the UK. So I don't know that that's going to translate. I don't think that's going to really translate well. They're going to think, what does that mean? It's going to be oily and potatoey? I don't know. It just doesn't quite, it's not the right. I prefer, from my tech companies, I prefer a little bit of precision when they describe something. Maybe don't say crisp. Maybe say IPS, BOE. Give me a resolution, baby. Hit me with a ratio. Come on. A little something, something, but not crisp. It's just not working for me. But you know what does work for me? A $1.99 super chat from the Console Fanboy. What's going on, buddy? Fox, curious why iArcade wasn't at CES. Thoughts? You like to set me up for failure, don't you? I'm going to guess it's because they had absolutely nothing to announce. Probably just Just going out on a limb there, console fanboy. Just going out on a limb, thinking that maybe they just really ain't got nothing to, again, you know. I would love to see somebody. I would love to see Michael from My Arcade dual wielding freaking sending light guns and having a ball, but sadly, it didn't happen. Probably not going to happen for a while. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Here you go.
Finish him. Skrill wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
Oh, yes. Fatal indeed. Fatal indeed. Jimbo Jones says, are there any software upgrades on the cabs, like a scanline option? I can't confirm that. I don't know. But what it appears to me, it's just the legacy cabs, the legacy PCBs, the legacy monitors. Hopefully not the monitors, but just put into these cabs. They just took that and they just put it in there. That's all they did. I'm pretty sure. I didn't see anything called out specifically. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing different. I mean, for God's sakes, we still have Paperboy on there. Paperboy, something you don't want to see. But one thing you definitely do want to see is a $10 super chat from Danny Davis. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. If the CES offerings is the best Arcade1Up has to offer for the next few months, I am really disappointed and suspect they will be on the ropes. Well, look at it this way. Danny, think of the money you're going to save. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Here you go.
Perfect. Hyper combo KO. Game's over. Time to call it quits.
We got Sosa, Fam, Bam Bam. Be my third Arcade1Up MK project. The new one? The new one? Well, you know what? It might be a new project if that damn monitor isn't right. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? We'll talk about that. I can't. I'm getting ahead of myself. That would be crazy. But Sween Machine says, "Sup, Fox? How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Hanging out with us and kicking it old school." All right. So we have said hi to most. Well, I probably didn't get everybody in the chat. I got a lot of you in the chat. We got some great super chats. We got a sweet poll. Remember, jump up there. Let me know what you thought about Arcade1Up's. You got 4 options. What did you think about Arcade1Up CES? I got to know, because I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. But first, let me do this. Let me hit that over there. Let me do this right here. And then let's go ahead and get into the first topic. So CES 2023 wasn't just about Arcade1Up. There's a lot of other stuff going on there, stuff that we care about, and we're going to talk about the other stuff briefly. First off, kind of a weird, solemn note. This is not going to be I don't want to make light of this, but everybody was making. Listen, I think that this is we should definitely look at P-Dubs and Michael B. Nostalgia. I think. Yeah, I think we can probably go. We'll throw B in there. Kongs. I'm not kidding. I can't say Detroit Love was in on this. I think he seemed pretty reserved. But when they were making fun, when the guys were making fun on Super Gaming Dudes on Friday, when they're making fun of Unico, okay, they were making light of something very serious, and it was appalling. I'm just kidding. They didn't know. They had no idea. But they showed that picture of a guy in a corner. I'm like, oh, Unico showed up. Well, they were gonna show up. Unico was gonna show up. Now, for those of you that are, you're into your Arcade1Ups, and maybe you got 1 or 2 full-size arcades out there, you are going to be kind of excited by something that Unico announced quite some time ago. This is their official statement. This is over on their Facebook page, and they said, listen, our apologies. Sorry, no Unico USA CES 2023 booth number. That was the number of their booth. They weren't there, basically. Said, we will be shooting videos next week and sending out for review units of our Phoenix Arcade CRT replacement LCD monitors, both M19, which is the 19-inch. They have a 17 and a 19 available on their website now, and the M26, which is the fabled 26-inch LCD replacement monitor that we've been needing for some of these full-size arcades. Now, this is the reason why, though. The CTO was driving to CES and collapsed on the road once and is in the hospital. 6+ blood clots in his lungs. He is currently in hospital, unsure when he will be released. So definitely prayers, thoughts going out to whoever that unnamed person is. Hopefully they are making a recovery. But they had every intention of being there to show off some of their monitors. Now, this is a big deal. Not so much for 17-inch replacements. We've got a pretty good, BOE for the most part. Arcade1Up hasn't really stumbled, but that one time with a, when they took that little departure from the IPS monitors, they went with the TN monitors for the MK30th and then the other two legacy cabinets this year. That was a stumble. They got back on the right track with Blitz, with Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I'm pretty sure they're going to continue on that track because we let them know loud and clear that that's not cool, man. That's not cool. But when you're talking about full-size arcades, and even some of the XL cabinets from Arcade1Up, the 19-inch monitor is something of a curiosity, right? That's something that you could definitely put in. You could swap out your XL cab. I haven't done that personally myself because they are kind of expensive. Now, they are not just the LCD replacement board that you would swap out. Normally, when you do the swap on my channel, what we did is we decased the monitor, and just the LCD portion was removed and then replaced. So your board, your inputs, your LVDS connector, all that was just reused, right? This is a completely independent monitor that will accept an arcade video input, as well as like RGB and maybe even HDMI. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. What did I say? RGB? Yeah. VGA, I think. Anyway, so it'll accept those inputs, so you can replace your arcade monitor with this. 19-inch is something that's widely used. 25/26-inch monitors are used on just a bunch of stuff. So I'm really excited because I'll go ahead and let everybody know right now, the diehard that I picked up last night, I told you how that screen, I was kind of making light of it. The screen was really, really dim, but the colors looked okay. Well, I did some wiring today. I had to cut out a whole bunch of other stuff, and then I replaced everything. Looks great. Monitor's dead. The PCB seems to be working fine. I hear audio. I hear the sound of the game playing. I just don't have any video at all whatsoever. I'm getting 110 volts, 120 volts up to the chassis. I'm just not getting, I just got nothing. I got nothing. So it's sad. It is what it is. But something like this would really be of interest to me and everybody else who's on the fence about, listen, do I now go and find a guy that can repair this? Or do I take this on myself? Do I get a flyback? Maybe find a completely rebuilt chassis. Do I recap this whole chassis? And some of these, I think I shared with you, like, when I got my, when I got that, the Surf Planet cabinet, and it had I forget the Wells Gardner model number. It was a higher model number. 7,000, I think, is the most common. I had something a little bit newer than that, and you just can't find flybacks. You can't find parts for that. It's just not available. So I had to spend $300 on a brand new CRT, which is fine, but I don't know what the price point is for these. I think they're 19 inches, like $250. So a 26-inch monitor, how much is that going to be? If it's $300 or $350, but it's an LCD, it's going to last for a very long time. It's reduced weight, reduced profile, and all that. I know there's a lot of purists that are going to be mad about that, but I don't care. We're at the point now where nobody's recreating CRTs. Nobody's rebuilding them. There's no company that's trying to keep that alive. So choices are going to have to be made. What am I going to do? I'm going to wait for this this price to drop. I'm going to wait for some of these reviews on this 26-inch monitor, and then I'm going to make my decision then. But until then, I'm stuck with the cab. I'm actually not stuck with it because I'm having a lot of fun with it, just rebuilding it, just rehabbing it, just gutting it and cleaning it up and replacing everything. And I got new sticks, IL sticks coming, new buttons with cherry micro switches. You like that? Arcade1Up, you want to write that down? All that stuff's coming. So I get to change all that. I got some artwork I actually have, and this is the great thing I love about this community. I put it out there, and in the video too, I talked about how the marquee was going to be tough to replace because there's like one EscapePod.com, I think, is actually they have a replacement marquee and the replacement CPO overlay, the control overlay. They have that, but is it a high res scan? I have no idea. So I have somebody. The same person helped me with my Raiden 2 marquee. I did some of the work myself. I made something I wasn't 100% happy with. This person reached out to me, and they were able to Photoshop with their magic skills. They Photoshopped an awesome high-res image, and they were actually able to give me a much better marquee for my Raiden. So when they saw that I was having the same sort of issue and concern with this, same thing happened. Hey, listen, they reached out, I verified measurements, and they were able to come up with something, a high resolution, scan that I can now send to go get printed off. And I love this community. I love this community. Just wanted no money, no praise, wanted me not to mention their name, just said, hey, it was a fun challenge. He enjoyed the challenge of actually trying to make this happen because it's kind of rare. So that's great. So that's going to be coming on later on. And so the cabinets, I'm having fun with the cabinet, but this is something that can really push our hobby forward. because if there's anything else out, I mean, boards die, but boards can be rebuilt to some extent. You can have universal BIOS. You can have chips that have all the games on them. So the number of boards depletes, but you can still have all the games accessible. There's Darksoft mods that can be done on various different cabinet boards. You can have all the games on it and stuff. So if a board dies, it's not necessarily the end of the world. You can still have access to a lot of these games, but the monitor is always an issue. Now, I'm telling you, if I take a look at this and I can put a 26-inch in my Golden TXL, I'm just saying, it opens up to a lot of possibilities. And it makes, listen, as these arcades begin to die, as these arcades begin to become harder to find, the LCD is going to be good to save the ones that are left. But if you want to recreate that, but you're not happy with the 17-inch monitor, this is going to be great for modding. This is going to be great for us. But another thing that's going to be great for, this is going to be great for me. It's a $5 super chat from Console Fanboy, who says, serious question. Okay. Do you think the iArcade Gold will be worth picking up when it goes on sale for $399 this summer? I think at that price, it's not bad. Okay. You can't deny the build quality of the machine. That's never been in question. It's just not. It's just not. It has the power to push the speakers. Now, the speakers were kind of lacking. I replaced mine, and now I've got something that's just ready to go. It's awesome. So you can't deny the quality at all. I think $399 is a steal as long as you're familiar with the games that you can get. Now, luckily, you can go to the arcade store and you can see exactly what's available, and it could be something as simple as, hey, you just wanted a Double Dragon cab like I did, and Arcade1Up ain't going to do it. Well, there you go. There's your Double Dragon cab. It has a lot of other cool features, but you definitely got to get acquainted with the games list to make sure. I don't want people to be disappointed. But you're not going to be disappointed with the quality, okay? And if you swap out some better speakers, you're going to have an amazing experience because it's got the power to push the sound, and you put better speakers in there. It's nice. So that, a Gold at $399, crazy price. If that's the case, I don't know. Maybe Console Fanboy is in the know. Maybe he knows what's going on a little bit better than me. Thank you so much again, buddy, for the super chat, and here you go.
Let's go.
Wolverine wins!
Rookie.
Absolutely. Flash ROMs, yes, and $249 is a good deal on the 19-inch. Yeah. So, JT, that raising a good point. Raising a good point. Talking about that Switch, comparing the Switch to the iArcade is something that most people can't really do. Most people will never make that connection. But somebody who will make that connection, someone who they'll make that comparison regardless of all the naysayers, is this guy who just dropped another $199 super chat. Console Fanboy says, Fox, never mind, I have a Switch OLED. Never mind. I'm not. You don't even get a clip for that. That was just mean. That was just you were setting people up for failure. So yeah, so that is something I'm sad that we didn't get to see it, but it's good that they know that these things are going out to reviewers to maybe get a look at this. If I have a hat, if I knew where the ring was, I would throw it in there because I have a perfect candidate, Unico, for that 26-inch LCD. I would gladly put it in my cabinet I just picked up. You just hit me up on the social medias, that stuff. Anyway, yeah, hit me up. I would definitely check that out. So is that something that interests you? It definitely interests me. I think it has implications, not just for the arcades that need to be preserved, but the arcades that could actually be improved. Atari. I don't know if you've heard of this company, Atari. They kind of started the whole thing. Anyway, Atari has always been, they haven't really been shy about putting themselves out there, making partnerships with other companies to kind of bring more Atari to you. And now the latest one to kind of come into this is My Arcade. So also at CES, My Arcade showed off some stuff that I think most of us are familiar with. Now, I don't even have a picture of this. It's the little, the My Arcade they get the little cabinets. They're plastic. They got the little cabinets. They got like Street Fighter and they got Contra and all that. And so they had one of those there for the Atari collection. And that was fine. That was cool. No problem. It's whatever. I'm not into those. But one thing I did like and I did dig, and I got a slide for this, is this handheld, which was really cool. Not a ton of details on it, but I dig this form factor. I also included a picture of the Contra version because this is sick. The colors are good. I like this form factor. It's very limited on the games as far as the Contra one goes. And then also going back to the Switch OLED argument, I have a Switch OLED, also have the Contra collection on there. So I didn't pick this up, but I like the way that this looks. It's really pretty cool. And the Atari one, listen, nothing screams 70s like this over here. I mean, look at that. Look at that color scheme. That is sick. That looks so good. That looks so good. I know it's just a paint job and a decal, but what a cool way to play some more Atari stuff. So I'm digging that. That's cool. But the thing that made all the attention, everybody was like freaking out. Not just another Atari, not just a giant joystick that we got from Arcade1Up, but something a little bit bigger. Well, maybe not bigger, but definitely better. And let me know what you think about this in the chat. If you watch this on the replay, comment on this. I got to know what everybody's thinking. This is not your typical mini console that's like the recreation, like the PlayStation Mini and the Sega Genesis Mini and the Nintendo Mini. This is something a little bit different. This is like a modern recreation of that. I think it's going to serve basically the same purpose as those mini systems, but this is sick. I mean, this looks really good. This looks like an updated, modern, sleek device, that is usually not associated with Atari. Usually thinking of your wood grain 2600 or whatever. You're not thinking of something like this. I think this looks really good. Not a lot of details on this, but it is something I thought this was worth noting. Atari themselves are so excited about this partnership with My Arcade that they actually had this on their Facebook page. Atari's Facebook page showcased this specific device, this partnership on their Facebook page. They're really excited about it. Yeah, the 50th anniversary. I think so. I think Brooklyn Minutes. Thank you. You're right. And not only just the games, but it was the way that it was done. Right. It was an homage to a great game company. Because you could go on this journey when you got that 50th anniversary collection, you could go on that journey. You could actually look at all the old stuff from back in the day. You could walk through there and see the games when they came out. And there was just there's a lot of history to mine and be a part of it. And maybe not so much for us who remember most of this stuff, but for the younger generation who's curious, I thought it was a great tool to kind of see where arcades and Atari came from, and how they transitioned and then into the home markets and all that. So I think you're right. It did kind of bring back some of this nostalgia for the brand. And this looks really good. Looks good. How's it going to play? I have no idea. But it looks really good. Is it going to be Bluetooth controllers? Is it going to be, it looks really good. This is something you would be proud to kind of have sitting there as in your game room or just maybe in the living room is something kind of sleek. I like this. I like this modern interpretation of a very old console. It's going to be the same games we've probably played a million times, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm digging this. A PlayStation Mini doesn't have to look like a PlayStation. It could be some sleek, sick looking little black box, which is there's like a PlayStation logo in the middle. And you could pack it with like 50 games or whatever instead of what we got before. It doesn't have to. It could be something as simple as this, and look really good. So I'm excited about this. I want to hear more about it. I'm digging it for sure because it looks really good. It looks really good. And how does it play? That's always going to be the main thing because we buy this stuff and it sits on a shelf, and then eventually you look at it, and you're like, I'm not using that. I'm going to sell that. I'm going to get rid of it. But that thing looks good. If it plays good. I'm just saying, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. You know what's also not bad? You know what is also actually not bad, but it's actually pretty good? Is another $5 super chat from this guy. Console Fanboy says, Fox, do you think iArcade will ever get Mutant Football League, Shredder's Revenge, or Windjammers 2? Oh, wait, I already have them on Switch. Disregard. You're being facetious. You're being mean. You're hurting people's feelings. All the fans from iArcade are crying, but I'm going to go ahead and blow you up one more time, buddy. Here you go. Always the iArcade heartbreaker. But yeah, so that's where Atari's at. That's where CES is as far as, non-Arcade1Up stuff. And now it's time to get into that part of the show. It's not going to be an hour-long show, guys. We're going to have to stick with it for a while because I got some things to discuss. We got some things to talk about. Oh, CES 2023. CES 2023. So let me take you, let's roll the clock back. Last year, CES 2022, there wasn't a ton. Let's put it all in perspective, right? There wasn't a ton of stuff announced for 2022. We didn't like get this crazy list and everybody's heads exploded. It was great, but we got to see some really good things, some similarities to this year. So let's first off I'll take you back to that day where I got to have a bunch of cool people on my channel. Twisted Gaming was there. I had P-Dubs, Mike B, I had Console Kits, I had B from Console Us. I had a ball. Everybody was talking about all this stuff. We're really excited about what we saw. And what we saw was, to remind you, the second iteration of these legacy cabinets, the ones that predate the ones we just saw, That was the first time we saw this new midway style design for Mortal Kombat, and that was sick. That was sick. I was like, oh, that looks really good. That looks really good. Hopefully it's this. Hopefully it's that. We know there's no Johnny Cage on the side, but who cares? So we got to take that in. And the fact that they increased the number of games, and the fact that the legacy cabs now have Wi-Fi, and we were like, brains exploding. Little did we know the TN monitor situation. But that was later, some other time, right? We're not gonna get into that. But at the time, we were having a ball. We were loving it. When we got to see actually the other legacy cabs and how they redid those body shapes, those body styles, those designs, and that was also really cool. But we also got to see something brand new. Not only was it now, I think the games had actually been released before or announced or whatever on the first Killer Instinct cab, so there was nothing necessarily new there, but a brand new form factor, a brand new price point that we would later on find out to be $1,000. It was the Killer Instinct Pro. Heads exploded. I mean, it was a good time. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of things to discuss, and I think it was a good time. But when you look at that compared to where we're at now, you're going to see some similarities. But for right now, I want you to see something else, like a $10 super chat from my brother Ezekiel, the Chicago Retro Ranger. Buddy, how the hell are you? $10 super chat. Hey, brother, I'm out with friends getting my drink on. I'm not driving, so it's okay. Cool arcade pickup, buddy. Always love your content. Cheers, brother. Cheers to you, Ezekiel. I thank you so much for always supporting the channel and having a drink. Yes, don't drive. Be safe. Be safe, brother. Thank you so much for the super chat, and I got to give you a little something. Here you go.
Can't you do any better?
Once again, buddy, thank you so much for supporting the channel, and have a great time. Have a drink. Have a drink for me. So we saw some similarities. We're going to see some similarities between what we saw last year and what we are seeing this year. Okay. Before we get all negative, before we get all super hypercritical, let's think about where we are and where we were. So last year we had new form factor in the Pro. We had new body styles, new designs in the legacies. And we kind of find ourselves in the same situation this year, right? It's kind of par for the course. So you look at new designs. That was going to be the legacy, or I'm sorry, the deluxe legacies that you see right here. No riser, all that. So we're going to see that. That's similar. We also have a brand new form factor, which is the CasinoCade. Whether you dig it or not, it is new. And then also another form factor of an existing product is actually the Infinity Game Table. We're going to talk about all those in a little more detail, but to kind of get back and take that 30,000 foot view on paper, I know it feels very different. At least it does for me. I know it feels different, but on paper, it's actually very, very similar. And that can be a bad thing, but I think it can also be a good thing. And another thing that can really be a good thing, and in some ways a great thing, is a $2 super chat from Anthony Vitale. Thank you so much, buddy, for the super chat. Fox, what Pac-Man Deluxe cab are you getting? Question mark. Yeah. Oh, you just go there. Well, you know what? I'm going to keep you in suspense, buddy. I'm going to keep you in suspense, but thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I really do appreciate that. And why don't you and I work together and let's blow up. Let's just go blow something up. Yeah, I didn't see that at CES. No, we'll save it for another time. So when you compare where we were last year to this year, kind of the same situation. I mean, on paper, right? On paper, kind of the same thing. We're seeing some of the same thing. Now, the things, numbering, the addition, the math might add up, but what is the feeling there? Where's the punch? A pro cab being announced featuring Killer Instinct. Okay. Definitely something I wasn't expecting. I was expecting something very much more safe. Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, something like that. I don't know, Pac-Man, Pro Pac-Man. But no, they kind of did something a little bit different. This year, let's talk about the new thing they did. What do you think? Let me know in the chat. What do you think about this? The CasinoCade. Okay, so this is a departure. This is a departure for sure. This is not an arcade game. This is not something two people can play. It is a single player upright experience. It's not a 19-inch monitor. It's not a 17-inch monitor. It's a 10-inch monitor with an 8-inch monitor above it, but the 10 inches touchscreen, and it's casino apps because this is a tablet, and there's a couple buttons. Please wake up. I know everybody in the chat's asleep right now. Come on, stay with me. Come on, we got a show to do. Come on, please hang with me. I understand this is not necessarily. Listen, P-Dubs, if that was on the screen right now, we'd have some people awake right now. Okay, everybody would be excited. Maybe not for the product, but for the artwork on the side. I'm just saying. That would be a welcome change. Where's Marilyn? Oh, baby, where you at? So this is okay. All right. Listen, I understand not everything is for me, and not everything has to be for me. I get that. I'm not a giant Mortal Kombat fan. I'm not. But I saw enough in the Mortal Kombat cabinet. Actually a couple. Actually, I've bought a couple MK cabinets. But when I saw the MK30th cabinet, there was enough there for me to want to get in on that. There was enough of game variety where I will, they got Rampage. Let's check that out. I mean, we got Michael B's favorite game, Clax, is on there. He loves that game. It has to be good. This is a departure. It's venturing into a new world for them, and I get that. But I have, it's not that I have zero interest in this. I have negative zero interest in this. If there was like a black hole of interest, my interest is in a vacuum, if that makes sense. I've been to Vegas many times for work, a couple times for pleasure. I'm not a gambling person. I don't really like it. I'm not into it. I don't mind, playing some poker on my iPad. That's fine. Win fake money, lose fake money, doesn't matter. And I like cards, so that's okay. But oh God. So listen, this is where we're at. Okay, we have this form factor. We have a 10-inch screen. It's a touch screen. Okay. How big is your tablet at home? I don't care if it's an iPad, an Android, what. It's about 9 to 10 inches, right? So let's take the comfort and the accessibility and the ease of a touch screen that's sitting in your lap as you sit on the couch playing your whatever, and let's take it and let's pick it up and let's put it in a wooden structure that you have to stand in front of and you have to interact with. You see where I'm going with this? I mean, why would we? Let's take the functionality of an iPad, let's take or a tablet, and then let's remove all the function. Let's remove all the fun. Let's remove all the benefits of having that sitting in your lap, and let's just put it in a device you have to stand up and walk over to. Okay, let's do it. I'm lost here. I'm really, 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 really am lost here. I understand that there's some people that are going to be into this, but I also hear the people talking like, where's the pull handle? Where's the novelty, the nostalgia, which is what Arcade1Up is kind of playing on when they sell their products. The nostalgia of, I know that the arm, the lever it's not necessary anymore. It's not a mechanical slot machine anymore. It's all digital. But still, to have that, functionality, and I know we've seen that in the Partycades, and maybe the Partycades will have this, but this is supposed to be, listen, wouldn't this be an upgraded version of a partycade. Wouldn't this take us? It's supposed to elevate beyond the partycade, but somehow it's a reduction. I mean, this is, listen, Gen 1 iArcade looks way better than this. I mean, I'm sorry. This just look. Oh, I'm not sorry. This just looks like, yeah, that's a good point, Pete Ups. I can't wait to see the HSN promo video. It'll probably be spectacular. There's going to be lighting ungodly, lighting unlike the which any of us have ever seen. And the blue hairs are going to be all over it. And I'm happy for them. And I acknowledge that this is not for me, but I struggle with an arcade company that makes arcade recreations going out on a limb and having this lead their CES presentation. It's a struggle for me. It's something that it's a challenge. But you know what makes that challenge a little easier? Something that's not a challenge. Something that goes down smoother than the bourbon I'm drinking. Another super chat from Anthony Vitale says, 199 super chat. Thank you so much. You don't see Arcade1Up's vision. The future is here. You know who also said that? Anthony, Mr. Future looking guy. Skynet also said that. And then that's when they killed everybody. My God, what are you doing? It's okay. You gave me a super chat, so I got to blow you up because it is the thing that we do here on the channel. Here you go. This is what happens. This is exactly what happens. The future is here, and it's terrible. It's not good. It gives me discomfort. It makes me sad. But a great way to be picked up. A great way to get out of that funk is a $2 super chat from Rainwater Games. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Could we do a 13-inch or a 14-inch and still have your bezel lights, your little Christmas lights? I mean, come on. Really? Valid point. I don't know why. If I was making the decisions, maybe, perhaps, I think I shoot a little bit higher than 10 inches. I mean, at least something a little bit bigger than the tablet that I have on my lap that now I got to stand up and go interact with. It's a little bit weird. It's a little bit crazy. Here you go. So the dead horse has been beaten beyond, I mean, it just recognition really at this point. It's just not for me. And I get that. I understand that. But let's take a little look at something else. Okay. So I took a little bit of the video that CNET did, and I wanted to kind of review that and show that to you. No audio. Let's just take a look at this thing. And I want you to really, I chopped it up and I did some editing. Okay. Just see if this would maybe get a little old after a while. Let me know what you think. Here we go. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you're looking at this. Let's play it again. You have a 10-inch monitor in the middle, which looks pretty good. There's a little washing out of that 8-inch, but if that 8-inch is the one they're using in the CasinoCades, that's not bad. That's a good looking monitor. But to me, it looks like something's in the wrong aspect ratio. So you have your bezels, like when you get these arcade collections and you're playing them on a 16:9-inch TV, but it's like 4:3. So you got these big bars. Sometimes they fill it with art just to kind of fill the void. But I mean, this just looks like garbage, guy. I mean, this just looks chintzy. I mean, it's lights. I mean, the fact that the little, it looks to me just like cheap Christmas lights. It looks like the lights behind like a marquee, like a translucent material that just kind of blink. I mean, I don't know. I'm really struck, guys. Listen, I'm not trying to kill it for you. If this is your jam, I mean, God bless you. Have fun. I'm glad you got what you wanted. But I don't see this. I don't see this. I don't see the connection. I know you're trying to step out of your lane and introduce. I think the word that Cyrus was using was, what did he use? They had upgrade, which is the way they described the Deluxe, and then expand or something to describe this. We're going into new markets. I mean, not every place is worth going to. I mean, it's a different place, but should you go there? That's what you got to ask yourself. Every time you get in the car and you go somewhere, you're thinking about going somewhere. Shouldn't you ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth going there? But it's a different place. I know it's a different place, but for God's sakes, have you heard about it? Have you seen it? I mean, why are we going there? I mean, we could read about it, but we don't have to necessarily go there. And this is kind of what I'm thinking. The CasinoCade, is it really gonna? I'm just lost. I need direction. I need guidance. And also a super chat. $5, in fact, from 51 Pegasus Studios. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, but I really do appreciate it. It's possible that a ratcheting pull handle with tension damaged their cheap MDF. Ooh, throwing shade. I like it. Also, Arcade1Up needs to give me Star Wars Deluxe or re-release. Please. I thought you were going to say now, but you said please. You threw the please on there. Star Wars Deluxe? Could that be the re-release? That's the subject for another video and another topic and another time, but that would be cool. Thank you so much again for the $5 super chat, buddy. Really do appreciate it. Got to blow you up with something special. Got to give you a little something that you need. How about this robot? So CasinoCade's not my jam. Not my jam, but thank you so much for $5 super chat. Also, something else that we need to really, oh God, okay, we got to talk about this one. So the Infinity coffee table, Infinity game table was something that I think was a really good concept. I thought that it was overpriced. And then by the time you added a battery, but the battery, if you're talking about something the size of like a 32-inch monitor, maybe you don't need a battery. Okay, so let's live without the battery for now, right? The $200 battery. I think now it's $150 at Best Buy. But still, I think that concept was not bad, kind of cool. I mean, something everybody can kind of lean over. I wish it was a little bit bigger. I actually thought about getting one and then maybe making like a tabletop and then routing a groove to recess the game table inside of a bigger table, but have like 3 inches or 4 inches around it with cup holders. So you don't put your glass of bourbon on top of the actual arcade table. You put it around something else. And that can be like a dark wood to offset the black, glossiness of the actual game table. And that could be really cool. I wish that somebody would have maybe come up with that, as like an option, as like an adder. So I thought that was not bad, just always a little bit out of my price range. And I didn't know that it was really worth it. I couldn't get everybody else in the household to kind of get in on that one. I sure as hell wasn't going to buy that one just for me. There's few things lonelier than playing a 4-player board game by yourself. Just saying it out loud is pretty pathetic. But also, maybe if you go to a restaurant and you sit down and you eat by yourself, something I've done. It's really sad when you travel for work. It's not always glamorous. So you end up getting pizza, and that's a whole other story. Wow, that took a turn for the worst. Guess what else took a turn for the worst? The Infinity game table we have a new iteration. We have an Infinity game tablet. In concept, sounds like a good idea. Okay, let's see. Let me hear you out. Let's see where we're at. Well, everything that glitters is not gold. Everything that is Infinity doesn't always game so well. Okay, so the progression of having a smaller screen makes a ton of sense to me. All right, right off the bat, a smaller version of this makes sense. A smaller version to get people enticed, and then maybe you jump up to the big 32-inch. Okay, well, we got this. This is kind of cool. Maybe we break it out every once in a while, but we want to upgrade to the big one. Or if you don't use it that often, it makes so much more sense for a consumer to buy something smaller. And okay, we'll just every once in a while, right? We'll just bring it out. Wait a minute. I did not know that. Well, then the CasinoCade is worth it. Absolutely. Just buy immediately. So we have the dimensions here. This is the product that's going to be $500 ish. I don't know if we actually got, I think they said less than 500 is what Cyrus was saying on the show. Everything less than 500. So this could be 500 ish. I'm not sure exactly where that's going to fall. CNET guy said something else. Cyrus said something else. I don't know. Let's call this 500 for sake of argument. So here's where we're at. Here's the assembled dimensions. So you get an idea. 11.5 or 11.25 inches wide by 18.5 inches long. So that kind of gives you the overall dimensions. You're going to get 16 gigabytes of memory. Not a ton of memory, but I don't know how much space these board games take up. So that could be plenty. 50 games are going to be included. So you're going to have stuff like Yahtzee and Trivial Pursuit, Scrabble, Operation, some of the stuff. It does have this haptic feedback, which they said was good. They used that for the Operation. So you hit the sidewalls, vibrates just a little bit. And JJ says at 19K Fox, did you see CT Jason's YouTube on this? He points out that like 7 years ago, there was a 20-inch Android-based touchscreen tablet that came out for less than this cost. I did see that. We're going to talk about that for sure because that's it's relevant. It is absolutely relevant. So this is the product. It's tablet-ish sized, and there you go, right? So what's the issue? What's the problem? Well, right off the bat, probably not too much, except when you start reading some of the actual details. And it's funny how that's all the way at the bottom. Now you see the 1080p, that's always good. High def monitor, great. 18.5-inch HD touchscreen. Oh, okay, good. Sounds good. Responsive tactile feedback. Okay. Very bottom. Now we're talking about a tablet-sized device. Play on the go with an external battery, which is not included. It's sold separately, and it's the same battery as the Infinity Game Table. What? Okay, so we make a portable version, basically. There's no legs on this at all. It's an 18.5-inch screen, okay, versus 32 and 24, 27, right? Okay, so that's... Okay, it's not that. Okay, so it's smaller, so it's portable. It doesn't have an internal battery. Huh? Why? I don't understand it. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I got to buy a battery because this thing's $500. The one for the Infinity Game Table is $150. Now, if you saw the video, and I think P-Dubs did a good job showing off the fact that the battery, when you buy it, it's not like you take off a cover and you install this battery and you lock it down, right? It doesn't do that. You kind of like put it in a tray or a holder, and then you got to plug in a wire to it. It's kind of clunky, but at least there's a spot for the battery. For this, I don't see a spot for the battery. I don't see a holder. I don't see a place to put this thing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So that's a little bit alarming right there, especially when you consider, hey, Jason, what's going on, buddy? The third floor arcade. The thing should be 300 tops. Yeah. So, okay, we got to use their battery, which maybe you don't have to. Maybe if you get the right voltage, you can put any battery on this. But that's the thing. It doesn't have a battery compartment, no internal battery. You got to use this other battery. Consider the size of the freaking battery they want you to use. Think about this. So you got a table. Once again, here's the dimensions of the actual tablet, right? Not the table. This is a tablet that has no freaking battery. It's a mobile device with no battery, okay? Check out the new iPhone 15. No battery included. If you're worried about battery replacement, don't worry. We don't even give you one. Huh? What? So consider this. So you got to, here again, 11.25 inches wide. It's 18.5 inches long-ish, and it's about 2.5 inches. It says 2.5 to 3 inches deep, high. So I guess that's if you have the kickstand up or whatever. Consider the size of the battery. The thing, okay, that's already an inch thick. It's 8 inches wide or long, and then 3 inches in width, and then it weighs 1.5 pounds. Where the hell is that going to go? Like off to the side? Like with a cable plugged in? I mean, there's no, how the hell, where is that going to go? I mean, dude, it's insane. It's almost, the length is almost, it's almost half as wide as the product itself. Okay. If it was 9 inches long, if it was like 9.25 inches long, it would be half the length of the device. So where the hell is that going to go? I don't understand. I mean, and of course, when you buy your Infinity Game battery, it comes with a cable and all that. So now I got to take this thing and sit it down, and then I got to go get my battery, which I hope is charged, and then I got to plug it in. And then on the coffee table that we have to use, or the table or whatever, we have this and we have the battery sitting off to the side with the short cable connecting it. What do you, huh? I don't understand this. There's no reason this thing doesn't have some sort of an integrated battery. CT Jason, what do you think? He says that they can add a battery, Fox. If the 24-inch nab, the tablet you had in your video, which I did watch, check out CT Jason Nation's channel. He talked about it. And the battery life was 30 minutes 7 years ago. They can do it. They can absolutely do it. Listen, this is just weird to me. The point of making something smaller, here's an iPhone. The point of making this supercomputer smaller is so that you can take it places. And the only way you can take it places is if it's not tethered to a cable or an outlet. So you put a battery in it. Why the hell? What's the upside? I mean, it's a little cheaper, and so you can count on a sale coming and it's $399 maybe. But what the hell's the upside of the smaller screen then? I mean, it's to be portable. Oh, you can put it in your lap and you can flip around and you can, well, okay, but I got to have it plugged in. I got to sit next to a wall outlet with an AC adapter. I got to take 120 volts and drop it down to 12. So there's going to be a brick. There's going to be some freaking brick. It's going to be, I guarantee, it's like, this is the brick. This isn't even the battery that you could buy for 150. This is the brick that you got to set on the I don't know, you put it, I'll put it in my hoodie. Okay. And then I got my tablet here. Oh, damn, this battery's getting hot. Oh, now my crotch is on fire. What am I doing? Oh, God, why did I buy this device? You see where I'm going? It doesn't make a lot of sense. It's just not thought out. And when you see Cyrus on talking to B and talking to Justin Console Kits about, hey, we prioritized affordability. What, over common sense? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. If you want to prioritize affordability, then I mean, maybe it's a 720p screen, which would suck, but at least put a damn battery in it. It doesn't make any sense. Prioritize. Well, how about you cut the cost of the existing product line? How about you find a way to cut that cost if you want to prioritize affordability? And when you're talking about a portable device, I'm going to be honest with you. One of the last things you're gonna prioritize is affordability. I want something that's rugged. I want good battery life. Okay, I want it to have a snappy operating system so that it works quickly. I mean, and affordability is nice, but damn, bro, you got a whole bunch of stuff you better stack up before you worry about affordability. So this thing for me is an absolute no-go. I mean, it just doesn't make it, to me, it's like you had a good idea, but you did not connect those dots at all. I mean, not even remotely. And then when you talk about, and affordability, exactly. It's a good point. $500 is affordability. I'm not trying to just give you a hard time unnecessarily, but consider what you're doing. You're making a tablet, a portable device that no one can take portably. Yeah, I can't use it portably without spending $150 on your battery that I guess I have to go buy Velcro strips. Let's see, I got my tablet here. Let me just, good. I'm good. We're all good. We're good here. I mean, how am I going to attach it? I just don't. It's just sad, because they could have had something. They just didn't follow it through. What about something that costs maybe $500, but it had a battery in it? It's only got an hour-long battery life, but hey, that's something. How long does it take you to play a game of Monopoly? An hour or two, maybe? Okay, so give me something with a 2-hour battery life. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be like 10 hours of battery life. It's okay if it has a reduced battery life, but come on. Yes, and carrying case sold separately. It's actually a backpack. It's actually a duffel bag with wheels on it, and you can just take it. It's portable. It's portable. I don't know. It's frustrating whenever you see stuff like this happen. And I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I say I'm sorry sarcastically. I got to get a second drink because now we're going to talk about I love bourbon. It goes down into my belly. While you see me take a sip of the bourbon, consider following me on Twitter. Thank you so much, Snowdubs, in the chat, killing it. The best moderator of all time. Follow me on Twitter. You'll always know when I'm going to, every time I post a video or anytime I'm going to go live, I always go to Twitter and I let everybody know. I send it over there. It's like my bat signal. But instead of me being Batman, all of you are Batman. I'm signaling you to come. It's okay. It's the opposite. It's a bad analogy. We're going to go with it. But anyway, that's my bat signal. It's Twitter. Thank you so much. Yeah. Consider following me on Twitter so you can kind of keep up with what shenanigans I am doing. Also, if I am traveling to different locations, I will post on Twitter or Instagram if I'm in that area. So if I'm going to be somewhere for a week or two, I'm always open to going and maybe having a drink with somebody. And especially if you're from that area and you know of a good arcade, we can maybe meet up and have a drink and play some games. And okay, let's be positive. Let's be positive. Here we go. Let's have another drink. Let's be positive, and we move into something that is maybe the shining light, maybe the most optimistic part of CES for Arcade1Up, and that is the Deluxe cabinets. Ta-da! So, definitely a mixed bag for me. I'm going to say I love the evolution of the product. The changes that it's gone through. Listen, at the end of the day, I would have loved to have this be the first design out of the gate. It's because you need to drink more. I'm pretty sure that's how that works, Shannon. Have another one on me. Just tell the bartender I'm good for it. I would have loved to had this be the original design, but listen, hindsight's 2020, and I'm sure that Arcade1Up probably wanted to go this route, but trying to keep costs down. I get it. But I do like where they have taken the product. I like the fact that this is now the design moving forward. I like the fact that they're going riserless. It's something, some of the discussions we've had, you and your friends have had, we've had on this show and other shows. No more riser. The riser was cool for a time. It's time to go, right? Time to go. So this is a good thing. This is a good thing that we're moving beyond the riser. P-Dub says, 3 months from now, headline news article, YouTuber 19 Keyfox disappears after meeting random strangers on the internet. Well, I to be fair, I held my own. I mean, but there were more of them. And you know what happened? I didn't die. I didn't die at all. They made me play a CasinoCade. And so I gave up YouTube. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened. I don't die. I just give up YouTube because of the CasinoCade influence. It was horrible. It was an assault on my senses. So I like what they did here. I like this design. We're getting some things included that is also kind of unexpected. With the Deluxe cabinet, you're going to get speaker covers. Now, may sound a little bit silly, but think about it. Since like Gen 1, all we've had for speaker grills is just holes drilled in the MDF that the speaker is screwed to. So speaker grills started showing up. I think it was probably the pinball machines was like maybe the first iteration of the speaker grills, the speaker covers, an actual thing that covers them. And then I saw those. We saw those again on the XLs. I've got those on my Golden TXL. Same type of size, same type of grill. All black, looks really good. We saw an upgraded version of this on KI Pro with like the chrome trim. So that looks really good. So we're seeing this make its way to a 3/4 scale cab. And that's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing. Another good thing is another $5 super chat from Danny Davis, buddy. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. The next time you were in Vegas, let me treat you to the Pinball Museum. Tons of vintage pinball and video games. You didn't have to super chat that, but I thank you. And listen, next time I'm in Vegas, I'm going to hit you up. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm going to let everybody know I'm there, and we will definitely partake of the greatness that is. I've heard. I haven't been there yet. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I have not been to the Pinball Museum yet, but I would love to go. Be cool to hang out with you, have a few drinks, and do a little pinballing. Thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. And watch out for her. She's a heartbreaker. Got me having another drink. Thank you so much again for the super chat, buddy. Really do appreciate it. So I think that for the most part, this is not bad. Okay, it's a good iteration of the product. I like where it's going. what I don't like is there's no new game. There's nothing new as far as the game lists themselves. A better form factor, a better evolution of the product going forward, definitely. I agree 100%. This looks good. But, it's like, come on, where's the new game? I think a lot of you, listen, me included, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you right up front, I'm disappointed that Time Crisis was not part of this. When I saw some of this Deluxe cabinet stuff going on, I thought, well, that actually lines up with the leaks that we saw for Time Crisis. Now remember, roll the clock back, middle last year, when we got those GameFly leaks, and the biggest, well, not the biggest, well, I will say the biggest part of that leak was not so much the title, but the price of Time Crisis, which was $800. But it was Time Crisis. We saw that picture, that image, and it was riserless, just like these cabinets. So it would have been cool to see a new game. I don't consider the CasinoCade to be a new game, but that's just me. I'm just weird that way, I guess, but that is what it is. So that's what I want. Yes, my brother, exactly. Where is a reel with like a big control panel? That's what I want to see. 3 players. Come on, Arcade1Up, make this happen. So I'm digging the size. Listen, this is kind of time-tested and proven. We're seeing a return to form with the Mortal Kombat cabinet. I get that. It's fine. It looks good. I love that style. I love the design. It's very comfortable. Getting rid of the riser does nothing but help that. Let's really hope. Let's cross our fingers that is a 4x3 monitor. Now, I will say this. If you look at this bezel, look at the bezel on the Mortal Kombat cabinet. With the 5.4 TN monitor, where the bottom of the screen, the bottom of the bezel, the separation between the control panel and the monitor, where it says Arcade, you can kind of if you squint, you can see Arcade1Up. On the original MK30, that was not there, because the 5.4 monitor was taller, which means that you had almost nothing. There was almost nothing between the control panel and the viewable portion of the monitor. I'm thinking this is 4.3, which means IPS display, good to go. So if that's an IPS display with this, I am absolutely digging it. I like it a lot. Now let's just hope and pray that they were able to get, the white buttons. The white black button. All yellow, okay, but it's not arcade accurate, and it seems like something really trivial, something kind of silly. Button colors do matter, okay? They do matter. And something else that also really matters is a $1.99 super chat from Anthony Vitale. Again, $2 super chat, buddy. Thank you so much. MK Deluxe deck renders. Hope they revise the art. Thank you so much for the super chat. And not everybody is into MK Blue. It is what it is. What can we say? Once again, thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. And you know what? Here you go.
Finish him. Sub-Zero wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
It's fine. That acid, you just put a little ointment on that. You'll be good to go. You'll be fine. Thank you so much again for that super chat, buddy. And it does a body good. It does a body good. The support to the channel is awesome. Warms my heart. Almost as much as this $10 super chat from CT Jason over here on the CT Jason Nation channel. I had to give him 10 cents more because I couldn't just give him $10. That'd be whack. I can't do it. Listen. And then I can't keep up that voice. Sorry. I got kids trying to sleep. So my voice is gone. Thank you so much for the 1010. That's the first one. It said, do you think you can slant the screen in a Gen 1 Pac-Man to look like a Deluxe cab? They just lay it back. You know, we just take that and just cut, just kind of lay that back. And there you go. Maybe. But those TN monitors and those first gen cabinets, I don't think it's going to take too kindly to that. Is it possible? Okay, here's the thing though. They route a groove here. CT Jason, serious answer to the question. They route a groove in the side panels. So it's fixed at that angle and it fits into those routed grooves. If you do that, if you lay that back, you're going to have an exposed routed groove. And even, you could paint that black, but it's not going to be, you're going to see that. You're going to notice that. And you're going to be like, damn, I wish I could just give somebody $500 and just have a new version of Pac-Man. You're probably not saying that at all. Anyway, but that's the only downside, I think, to that. is if you do that, if you try to, that's the problem with the viewing angle of the monitors, because they route a slot in the actual side panels. You can't just change that angle easily because you're going to have an exposed groove, and I just don't like it. I just don't like it. Thank you so much again for the very unique $10.10 super chat, buddy. I really do appreciate it. And here's one that I haven't used yet. I may have used it. Well, you're getting it anyway. Here you go. Okay, so let's get into some of the details now of what we actually got coming to us and how it stacks up to the rest of the arcades in Arcade1Up's portfolio. Okay, so size comparison real quick. This is what you're looking at when you're talking about this upgrade, which is the word that they use. They used upgrade as part of this, right? You're talking about not only something that's going to, go without a riser, but it's actually going to stand taller than the current generation legacy cabinets. They're a little under 58 inches. This is going to be 61 inches. For all you iArcade lovers out there, guess what? It doesn't stack up to your crowning jewel of the gold cab, which is 64.5 inches. So, a little bit shorter than the iArcade, but it's taller than the current legacy. So it is an upgrade in stature as well as the design itself. And you can see where that stacks up with everything else. You're going to be about 4.5 inches shorter than your T2 cabinet, and obviously it doesn't even come close to the Big Blue and then KI Pro. So that's what you're looking like as far as elevation, right? Now let's look at. I gotta pull dramatically. I'm gonna pull my hat off. I'm gonna rub my hair. I'm gonna as in frustration. This is frustrating. Okay, now I love my slides. I love to try to lay things out. I like to try to figure out. If I was to explain Arcade1Up to somebody else and they're talking about a cabinet, what should I buy and the pricing, like how what is a better cabinet? Which somebody will say, well, what's a good cabinet? And beyond the game that they may like, you got to figure out, well, how do I explain this to somebody? Here is okay. Now I posted something on my community page, and it was a question. It was basically like, listen, are these cabinets going to cost $800? Are we looking down the barrel of an $800 legacy? I'm thinking no, because I was told, you and I were told, and I wrote it down with my pen, that by Cyrus told our guy, B-Kong and Justin Console Kits, that these bad boys are going to be $500 or less. Yeah, believe it when I see it. But anyway, but to sort of, how does this fit into the current lineup? Well, here you go. I have updated my graph. I've had to add a whole new section. And I think that if you're going to try to figure this whole damn mess out, this is where we're at pricing wise. This is obviously the MSRP. This is not what you're going to find on sale. Okay. I know you're looking at T2 like, bro, what are you talking about? $299. What's up? No, that's not where we're at. This is MSRP. So what we're being told is the legacy, the current legacy, because remember, this is the thing. Listen, this blew my, don't cuss on my show. This blew my mind. Cyrus said, we're not discontinuing anything. We're just making more. So they're not going to get rid of anything. They're going to make more. So this is just in addition to the lineup, which now includes Deluxe. So you have Legacy, Deluxe, which they're telling me it's going to be the same price. They're telling you it's going to be the same price. If listen, I'm telling you right now, listen. Here's what he said. Here's what Cyrus said on the show, talking to B-Kong, talking to Justin Console Kits. When he was talking about the cabinets that they had, the Deluxe cabinets they had, he said, I wrote it down on my little paper. Launch titles will be $500 or less. Launch titles, Pac-Man will be $500 or less. He said launch titles. Go back and look at the interview. Launch titles. Launch titles are Gen 1. So are they going to reintroduce Street Fighter cabinet with just 3 Street Fighter games? Are they going to reintroduce a Final Fight cab with 3 games? No. So in my mind, I think that was his caveat. That was his out to say that, okay, Pac-Man might be 500, but I don't think that MK 30th, the Mortal Kombat 2, I do not think that is going to be $500. I don't think it. maybe he said lunch titles. That is an option I had not considered. Perhaps he was. Yes, perhaps he was. Maybe he was just hungry. Maybe it was lunch titles, and maybe Justin. He said that's exactly what he said. He said lunch title. He said lunch titles. You know what that means? He said lunch title, which means that a deluxe version of Burger Time is confirmed. You heard it right here, folks. Justin Console Kits. And listen, if this is all wrong and a deluxe version of Burger Time does not show up, contact Console Kits at consolekits.com. Yeah, consolekits./consolekits.com. Go to that website and then let him know how mad you are that the deluxe version of Burger Time didn't happen, because he said it on the 19K Fox show. That's what he said. But maybe he said lunch, but I think he said lunch. When he said lunch, he was referring to, I believe, the only two cabinets in the room, which were, Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man. That's what I think we have. So here is my updated list. And yes, Justin, this pains me to no end because I had it all lined out. My little engineering mathematical head was so happy with what I had before. I had to add another section. It just messed up my whole world. So yes, you were right. This is just messing me up. Okay, so here's what we have. We have a legacy cabinet for $499. You and I are supposed to believe that we're also going to have a deluxe cabinet that is also $499, but they're not getting rid of anything. They're keeping what they have. So you're going to get the same thing, only better, and they're calling it an upgrade for the same price. Sure. Moving on. Okay, so at $499, you're going to have a legacy and a deluxe. If for some reason you don't like the deluxe and you want the old riser, you still have that option. Let's go through what I'm going to call the Deluxe Plus, which is an upgraded cabinet, but also has a riser, but it's a different game or a newer game. So that is going to be the $599 slot. So think about Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Think about some of these. I know Blitz before it was discounted to Hell and Gone. That's where that's going to slot in. And then we have the Deluxe Plus Plus, which is the $699 slot that's going to be occupied by T2 before it goes on sale again for $299. Also, all of the 4-player cabs are going to be considered Deluxe Plus Plus because that's where we are. That's what we're doing right now. So we have 4 categories in the 3/4 scale side. We still have the XL and the Pro Series over here on the big side, the 19-inch display being the big distinguishing factor. Obviously, the physical size is going to be a little bit bigger. This is kind of where we're at now as far as the current lineup and where it goes. So there we are. It's weird. It's weird. Because while I'm using the MK image in this graphic, and it's even right here, what's weird is that Cyrus pretended like it didn't exist. He didn't acknowledge the fact that MK was announced, even though it's on your website, even though it's sitting next to everything else that he just announced. It's so I don't understand. Why did you not announce it? Why did you not confirm it? Why, when you were asked specifically by B about it, you pretended like it didn't exist, or you didn't know, or, hey, I'm just paid to be a fan. Come on. I mean, okay, but you work for the company. You're talking about these deluxe cabinets. How do you not know about the 4th deluxe cabinet? I mean, I know about the 3, but the 4th one, hey, I don't know. Come on, guys. What is this? I'm on trial? No, we're just asking you questions about something that's currently on your website. We're not making this up, but okay. Which makes me believe that we're going to see a price increase on MK. I don't know. I could be totally wrong. I could be absolutely wrong. And, often I am. But on this, you know what this reminds me of? The denial of the existence of Mortal Kombat 30th, a product that's on your website, reminds me of The Simpsons. Does anybody remember The Simpsons cabinet where they had full-blown articles in CNET and every other, well, I think there's like 3 or 4 different publications talking about Simpsons. Here it is. It's announced. Here it is. But then Arcade1Up was like, no, what do you mean Simpsons? That's crazy. Is that even a game? And we're like, what do you, but the guy, he said, no, the guy says a lot of things. Didn't happen. Well, that's weird. Okay. And then bowling was on it, and then it wasn't on it. And then if you went to Canada, you were going to get a version that had like 4 other games on it. Like, what the hell? Where are we at? What's going on? What time zone is it? And, then it comes out and you're like, well, but why didn't you guys this is weird. Why are you playing this game? This is the same game I see them playing now. So if you have a representative from Arcade1Up saying that, hey, everything here is 500 or less. Okay, where's the CasinoCade? Where's the Mortal Kombat? Oh, you don't know about Mortal Kombat? Oh, that was somebody else who's handling that one? Oh, that's weird. I don't understand the silliness. I don't understand some of this, like, oh, well, it's subtlety, it's nuance. These are all, you're just no, we're talking about something that's on your website currently. I don't know why you can't just acknowledge it and we can talk about it. And if there's a price increase or there's a price difference, well, let's just talk about it. Why do we got to be weird and evasive? And that's the problem I have, is when you're being like evasive. Like, if you don't know, you don't know. Or if it's something, or if I ask you about Alien versus Predator and it's not announced, you're like, hey, well, all options are on the table. I expect that. But when there's something that exists on your website and is currently part of your entire CES package, as far as your marketing and your branding, and you don't know about it, well, that's weird. It's really odd. It's confusing. It's frustrating. But you know what's not confusing? You know what's not frustrating? You know what is food for the soul? You know what just puts me in a great mood? It's a $10 super chat from Long and Low. $10. Thank you so much for the super chat. I think he got lost on the MK question because he was still thinking, hashtag free MK4. Maybe he was told so much to keep quiet about MK4 that he mistook the question. Okay, I see. I love where your head's at. I love where your head's at. He's trying so hard not to accidentally announce MK4 that he was being super conservative and didn't want to talk about it. No, I can't. He was just dodging everything. Didn't know. No, I don't know. What do you mean? What do you mean? I see what you're saying. Somebody got a little somebody here who is absolutely a supporter of the Mortal Kombat 4 movement. And while I'm not the biggest MK fan, I do enjoy seeing other people get exactly what they want. And if you're an MK4 fan, then by God, you should get exactly what you want. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat, buddy. I really do appreciate it. And in honor of Mortal Kombat, here you go.
Finish him. Wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
It's because I wear contacts. It's all fake. Sorry. It is what it is. Internet glory. So that's where we're at. I think that I'm happy with what as far as the style, as far as the size. I mean, I like the single, it's not really a single side panel, but it is, a one piece design. It is made up of 2 pieces, but it's a continuous design. I do really, really, really like that. I do. I like it. And I'm not even mad that this is not the first iteration. That's okay. I have no problem with that. I understand that they were trying to get there. I think, listen, to be fair, they got there. They gave us that single side panel. When I saw that, when I put together my first XL cab, and I was like, when the 2 halves came together, and go back and watch that video, I had like on 2 separate tables, and I was bringing it. I'm like, I got to get the shot right. And I got 2 tables. And when it finally came together, I was like, this is it. This is cool. This is exactly the way that it should have been. Even though I dig the riser, I'm not gonna. You will find no riser hate here with me. I do like the riser. I like the fact that I could take a riser, I could assemble it, and I can take it and put it in the arcade. And it's like the placeholder. Like, okay, well, that's gonna go there. I can get the spacing right. Okay, that's okay. Good. Okay, then I can build the cabinet, and you just sit on the riser. I like the riser, but I am definitely into this. I like this a lot. I really do. What I don't like is the fact that it's, listen, I expect that the legacies are sort of, that we know they're the go-to. They are the same ones, that you're going to get every year. What is kind of depressing to me and sad is that there's no more games. There's no different games. It's the same games. It's the same number of games. That's while I like the change in the design, it would have been nice to change up the games list a little bit, maybe. But now is there enough here? Is there enough here to make me upgrade? Here's where we're at. Okay, so I have the black and pink Miss Pac-Man right now. I am seriously considering selling it to go for I don't know. I lean towards Pac-Man, but I'm kind of thinking maybe Class of 81. But I don't know. I think I might go with the Miss Pac-Man. I'm thinking I'm probably going to get one of these for sure. Now, here's the big problem. I put a bunch of effort and time and work into MK30th. Using what I learned from my 19-inch upgrade on the Golden Tee, I found a 17-inch monitor that works great on Mortal Kombat 30th. It looks good, looks sexy, love it. But it's like by the time you do all that and put all that effort into it, it's like, damn, man. I even swapped out. I took my CounterCade, the 2-player CounterCade. I took the white buttons out of it and I put it in my MK30th. And I'm like, this is perfect. I'm good. I don't need anything else. But then you do this to me. Then you do this. And it's like, oh, God, what are you doing? So, am I going to sell MK30th? Am I going to sell Miss Pac-Man? Probably. I'm like 75%. I'm about 75%. Now, when it comes to Pac-Man, I don't care. I'm not a huge Pac-Man fan. I don't even really care if I have Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man. When I look at this, I think about my arcade overall, and I think the pink T molding is just different enough to where I want to go with that. Red and black I have already, but pink I do not have. So Miss Pac-Man can represent, female power, whatever you want to say. That works for me. Okay. But yeah, I think that I'll probably do Miss Pac-Man. That's kind of an easy, like a no-brainer. I'm not really super attached to that one. I did do the RG, the Retro 360, 530. I'm sorry. There's so many numbers. I can't keep them straight. Retro 530 LED upgrade to that. So if I sell that, if you're in the Cincinnati area-ish, you'll get a cab for a good price. It already has that upgrade installed. I haven't done anything else to it, so it wouldn't be that big a deal to kind of let that one go and maybe get this one. I'm really digging the riserless design. I like that. I think I could definitely, I could roll with that. A little bit taller. I have a common 4-inch riser in the arcade, so I think that would still work even though it's a little bit taller. So I like that. So I'll probably upgrade the Miss Pac-Man for sure. Well, that's going to happen. I'll go ahead and say it now. It's going to happen. So if you're in the area, let's meet up. I'll give you a good deal and you'll have a cab and you'll be happy. But I'm going to do that. Mortal Kombat is the thing I'm still thinking about, guys. What do I do? What do I do? I think here's the thing, like not having Johnny Cage on the side. I like overall, I think I may like the Mortal Kombat 1 artwork better. Even though Johnny Cage isn't on the side, my arcade, like yours, they're pretty close to each other. They're about 4 inches apart. So it's not the end of the world. But there's no compromise. Other than the blue, the MK blue. They instead of MK2, the MK blue, they kind of went I understand Michael B's got a valid point. I get it. But I don't know. I'm to me, that's a little more traditional Mortal Kombat. I know it's the second game, but when I think of Mortal Kombat, I tend to think of this one. So, dude, I don't know. Probably, yeah, I think I will. I think I'll probably go with this one. So, yeah, if you're in my area, watch out for Facebook Marketplace. These two are probably going to go up pretty quick, maybe in a couple weeks. I want to give this some time. I want to think about this. If we're talking about well, we got MG. What are you doing? I'll take your MK30th if it's cheap. Listen, I did the monitor upgrade. And listen, and another thing to consider. Okay, if you want to come to my area, if you want to buy from me, listen, you're getting a famous cabinet. It's been on the internet. People know it. It's like P-Dubs. She might know me. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of a big deal. This cabinet is a big deal. This cabinet was on the internets. It had its own videos and whatnot. Okay? It's got the upgraded display. I mean, come on. It's got the white buttons. You will have the only arcade machine. Okay, you will have the only MK30th out there that's got my upgrade monitor on it, done by me. It's got the white buttons, not just any old white buttons, but stock white buttons out of a countercade. All right. Okay. There's no other combination that exists. Nobody else has done this. It's a one-off. So I should charge pro cab pricing, but I won't. If you're in the area, just pay attention to Facebook. I'll probably sell that one. I'm gonna hang on to that. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I'm gonna Miss Pac-Man. Yeah, I can sell that and wait 6 months, and I'm not gonna miss Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man, Miss. I see that it's a play on words. I'm not gonna be lonely if I don't have Pac-Man there, but I'm kind of partial to that cabinet, so I might wait on that one. Plus, I want to see pricing, and let me tell you something right now. 500 sounds great, right? Live stream, a guy from Arcade1Up said something. Listen, until you see that stuff written down in print at Best Buy or some other retailer besides Arcade1Up, don't believe that $500 stuff. I'm still hashtag not $499. I think that, okay, he's committed. Cyrus said it. I'm gonna take the man at his word. $499, but he specifically said launch titles. Now, I got Justin in the chat saying maybe he meant lunch. Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to go back. We'll have to replay the audio. We're going to have to get some audio experts, some speech pathologists to kind of figure out, was that launch? Was that lunch? Tell me about your mother. I mean, something, whatever. Whatever they got to do is fine. But if it's launch titles or $500, so Pac-Man will be $500, but Mortal Kombat, I don't know. If that's $600, yeah, okay, now we gotta talk now, because now to me you got to justify what you did. There's been a conversation. I've seen this in my chat, and I get that. I understand this point that I'm about to make, but I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't make this point. I can't do it. I can't move on. I cannot make this point until I acknowledge the $5 super chat from my man, Octoman PC's $5 super chat. Thank you so much. The MK2 cab is a must. I remember when I was a kid, that cab had a presence like no other. And that's what it is. Nostalgia is not a bad word. Nostalgia is not a dirty word. It is a way to describe a feeling, an attachment to our past, to our childhood. And there's items within that childhood that take us back. It's a song, it's a movie, it's a game, and in our case, it's an arcade. There's nothing wrong with that, And so I dig it. I'm with you. I get it. I'm a big fan of the Mortal Kombat 2 arcade machine as well. So thank you so much for the $5 super chat, buddy. I really do appreciate you. And you know what? I'm going to give you this one. I don't know. Mortal Kombat. Why not? Here you go.
Finish him. Wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
You caught me again. Okay, so yeah, I think that probably, Miss Pac-Man's going to go. Mortal Kombat 30th, it's probably going to go. And listen, if I don't try to take people for a ride. I understand that prices diminish. So if I sell cabs, they're typically $100 less than what they were new. Even though I put some stuff into them, I don't expect to get that money back. It's like when you buy a car and you put a bunch of money into a car, you're not going to get that money back. You're going to get Blue Book, and that's it. And if you're lucky, you'll get Blue Book. But unfortunately, there's no Blue Book here for what we do for these Arcade1Ups. There's just no Blue Book that exists. And it's sad. And it would be nice to have a standard that we can sort of hold ourselves to. Shining light in the darkness, much like a $1.99 super chat from 36D. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat, buddy. I really do appreciate it. Mortal Kombat 2 is a must. MK2 Blue is not. You're not blue on the MK2. I like where you're going, buddy. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I do appreciate it. I got to give you something a little bit different. I know you said Mortal Kombat, but you know what? I've never done this before. 360. We're going to have to send 2 people to the pit.
Finish him. Melina wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
I mean, I had to do it. It had to be done. It had to be done. There's too many Mortal Kombat references for two people not to go to the pit. It just had to happen. Melina, she's vicious, absolutely vicious. So to try to kind of sum this stuff up, and I think before we go beyond that, I want to ask you one more question. And this is a serious question. If you look back at the GameFly leaks, we talk about the things that were absolutely ridiculous, the things that we thought would never be made. Okay, Marvel versus Capcom 2, that was on the leak, the GameFly leak, and we that's ridiculous. That will never. Oh, it did. Oh, you got your notification. Oh, you bought it. Oh, it's there. Oh. Okay, so Marvel vs. Capcom 2 happened. Blitz happened. Not exactly Blitz. I'll give you that. A little bit of a caveat. It's fine. Blitz alternative. Blitz with no hits. That's fine. But Blitz happened. Where's Time Crisis? Where is Time Crisis? Add this to that. Let me put that in there. There we go. I don't know what's going on with Time Crisis. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I really thought, and I have no inside information. The Illuminati does exist, but unfortunately, I didn't make the cut. I'm not a part of it. There was a time I had a shot, but I didn't make the cut. So I am not in the Illuminati. I don't know. But listen, I thought Time Crisis was going to happen for CES. When you think about where we were last year, I thought that Time Crisis would be the new game, the new product, the new something new, right? You have all the traditional stuff. You have the legacies. And I thought that the new legacies would roll out. I thought we would see a different Street Fighter. I know we got Street Fighter later than we got Mortal Kombat. Namco and Midway, they got their legacies, and then we had to wait for Capcom. So I thought Capcom might lead the show with something different. Same CAD style with different games, maybe different artwork or something, maybe some green T-molding. I don't know. Maybe an alpha cab. And then we would have Time Crisis. That didn't happen. Neither one of those things happened. We got the same iterations of the old games, slightly modified arcade, form factor, slightly modified shape, but for the most part, the same stuff. And it's disappointing. It really is. I really wanted Time Crisis to happen. I wanted to see it. I wanted to get some feedback. I wanted to maybe have some guy from CNET play, Time Crisis. So where are we at on that? I think it's definitely out there. If every other thing happened besides that, I think it's going to happen. I do think it's going to happen. When is it going to happen? I just don't know. Did they think that they had enough for CNET to keep everybody happy, and then they were saving Time Crisis for a month or two down the road? Perhaps. There's also this re-release of Star Wars that we don't know anything about. Knowing what we know now, to have a re-release of Star Wars, but the deluxe version, where there's no riser, that is an incredible idea. Listen, I'm telling you, I thought that what we would get with the re-release was going to be, okay, the cabinet, this beautiful cabinet right here, but with Wi-Fi. But then the months have ticked by. We've seen no kind of SEC leaks. So that tells me, okay, no Wi-Fi. All right, fine. Maybe the same cabinet with a coin door. But now the possibility that maybe the new Star Wars could be a deluxe version, that's a great idea, because it's a clear distinction. Even if you don't add Wi-Fi, if you don't add a coin door, if it's just a deluxe version of this cabinet, that's a clear distinction between the old and the new. I love it. I love that idea. But so that will be cool when it comes out, I guess eventually. I don't know. Maybe that's why they haven't released it yet, or they haven't announced it yet, because they're thinking maybe they're on the bubble. Maybe perhaps we're going to have a deluxe version. I would not hate that at all. That would be a great thing. So we have a deluxe version of Star Wars. That'd be great. But the Time Crisis is killing me, because here's the thing. Like you, I need variety in my arcade. Fighters are cool. Pac-Man is cool. But damn it, where are the shooters? Where are the drivers? Currently, right now, you can only buy one driving cabinet. Outrun is not available. You got to look on Craigslist. You got to look on Facebook Marketplace. You can't find Outrun. You can only buy Ridge Racer. at this point in the company's history, with the success they've had with Outrun, with the vibrating feedback, the rumble steering from Ridge Racer, why the hell don't we have another racing cab? We have the only 2 shooters they've ever made are currently available. Where's the third? Where's the different form factors? Where's the different type of games? Just pick something different. And that's going to be probably the biggest thing that I can say against Arcade1Up is that you've just rehashed. I know you've heard this before. It's a rehash. It is a product evolution, but it's the same stuff over and over. And I think that if you would give us something slightly different, anything at this point, anything slightly different would be a breath of fresh air, a different game, not more the same. And I'm not going to give them a hard time saying they never do anything different. They have. We've sporadic points of genius, right? We've had T2 pop up. Like it or love it, T2 was a bit of a stretch when they first did it. Ridge Racer was also a 3D driving game. It was a bit of a wow, that's crazy. When they went from, Outrun, not that much of a demanding as far as hardware. The demands of the hardware weren't that big, weren't that advanced. That was a big step. Okay, good. Okay, but and they actually, what's funny that with shooters they led with Buck Hunter, which was more taxing on the hardware. Definitely a newer game, but it didn't hit anybody in the feels. Like, listen, I mean, you can correct me in the chat right now. You can correct me in the comment section later on. Does Buck Hunters hit you in the arcade feels like Operation Wolfwood? Operation Wolf, older game, emulated easily. I get that. It's not cutting edge at all. But the feel of that game versus Buck Hunter, it's not the same. It's not the same. So if nostalgia is your play, why don't you play on some of that nostalgia? And I think it's definitely the way that they should go. And another thing, I think that, well, I'm trying to think of a transition, but it's so late in the show. I don't even know that if I have I can't even justify it. I can't even come up with a good enough transition to convey my thanks for this $2 super chat from 51 Pegasus Studios. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat, buddy. I really do appreciate it. Where is the pole position at, bruh? I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Pole position. Spy Hunter, anybody? Come on. Have you been to an arcade? Road Blasters. What are we doing here? Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I do appreciate it. I know exactly where you're coming from, buddy. And you know who else also knows where you're coming from? Wolverine.
Let's go.
KO! Wolverine wins!
Rookie.
See, he is also not happy with the current state of Arcade1Up and their lack of drivers / shooters. So yeah, there's the diversity. I think the word diversity is used in a way that's kind of derogatory nowadays. But if you look at your arcade, my arcade, why am I going out and getting these full-size arcades? I have Raiden 2, I have an Astro City, and I have Die Hard. Now, why am I getting those particular cabinets? Now, number one is probably because the cabinet itself is radically different. So you have a standard upright American wooden cabinet, Raiden. You have a Japanese candy cab fiberglass cabinet in the Sega Astro City. And then with the Die Hard cabinet, it's an all plastic design. It's an upright. It kind of mimics the American style, but it's all plastic. And it's a game title I know they're not going to give us. It's the variety that I'm wanting. It's the variety that you're wanting. I'm willing to go out and buy a full size because I know you guys aren't going to do it. And it's a damn shame. I mean, look at this. Look at the chat. If you're in the chat, look at the chat right now. Look at all these different suggestions. I mean, we got Cuber. We got Skate or Die. I mean, the list goes on and on. Metal Slug. I mean, come on. Neo Geo, where are you at? You know, Arcade1Up will give you a good, a tribute cab. You know, Cloak and Dagger. I mean, come on, listen. The thing that connects all of us, all the arcade fans, is this is something that spans generations. You're talking about fans from the 80s, the 70s, 80s, 90s, the 2000s. There is some commonality with the arcade. Console generations come and go, and they come in and out of your life. With me personally, I wasn't always financially in a position to take advantage of every console generation. You're a young dad. You can't buy yourself a game console because you got family. And then eventually you can, when you're young, you get one, priorities change, you can't, but then but arcades are sort of static, right? They transcend the generations. They're constant. The games inside of them change, the form factors change, but for the most part, that experience can connect us in a way that nothing else can. And when the internet came along and the way that people connect, virtually, it's not the same as when you and I stood next to somebody that we didn't know, playing a game, fighting each other, or we put our quarters on the glass so that the guy in front of us knew that when he was done with Afterburner, I see you. When he was done with Afterburner, I wanted next. Hey, I got next. A time when people actually communicated and talked and interacted. Smash TV, Crazy Taxi. Come on. I mean, what are we waiting for? I mean, yeah, hell yeah. Zaxxon, Super Zaxxon, exactly. Bagman, Basconia. I mean, just the list goes on and on. You and I know what we want. You and I are into it. We'll dig anything. You listen, here we go. Deep cut. Come on. That was the 70s, right? Star Trek, yeah. The tactical simulation. Yeah, that was old school, baby. Bring it back. And that's what we're into. But it does. It's something that can kind of transcend the generations. You don't have to be a PlayStation 1 fan to get this game, right? You don't have to be an N64 fan to get this game. You don't have to be an NES fan to understand this game. If it's an arcade, the thing is that usually these games hung around for a long time. They really did. Definitely Robotron. There's a guy on YouTube. What is his name? His name is, I got it written down here somewhere. Michael B. the Game Genie. He's kind of a fan of Robotron. I don't know. Check out his channel, maybe. I don't know. You might have heard of him. Who knows? But I think that's where we're at. I think the variety is what we need. I refuse to give them a hard time for the change we've seen. I think the Deluxe is a great step forward. I'm not going to bust their balls about that. I like what you did with your cabinets. I like that. But we need to move forward. We need new titles. Starting to sound like iArcade fans. We need new titles. We need something different. And unfortunately, I'm speaking for myself, maybe people in the crowd, maybe people in the chat that think differently, but unfortunately, this is not going to get us there. This looks like an act of desperation. What do people like? Casinos, yeah, whatever. It was like a generic thing you say at a party. Casinos, yeah, what are the people into? Yeah, sounds good. Come on, do the thing that only you can do. Do the thing that you've been the only one to do is recreation of these old arcades. Do it. Don't be afraid of it. If it's got to be an online exclusive, if I've got to go to your website and buy it just from you and pay shipping, take that chance. All this stuff is renders, guys. They've made a couple of these cabinets, but listen, I don't think they've even made MK30th yet. The MK2 here, they haven't made that yet. It's just a render. So render me up some stuff I want. Render me up some cool stuff. This stuff's all right, but something new. And I want to see that from you, Arcade1Up. I want to see some polls going on your social media, asking fans what they want. I want to see some concept art out there. I want to see something going on that's going to make us get excited. Something. Come on. I think that's what we're looking for more than the Infinity game table tablet that doesn't come with a battery. I mean, I think more than the CasinoCade that's, an iPad. It's a tablet that you have to stand up to play. It's weird. It's kind of weird. I think that if you do something like that, you're going to get more of us back into the fold, get us a little bit more, just a little bit more excited about what you're doing. And I think it's needed. I think it's necessary. But don't just listen to me. Listen to all these crazy people in the chat, on your websites. And I think that at the end of the day, you will be better for it.
What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
It just like that, the glass goes empty. It's so weird. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with me tonight. But before you go, we got to look at the poll question. It was pretty easy. I threw you a softball tonight. We got 368 votes. Thank you so much for voting in the poll. It's very important that I get your feedback. Just because I have a channel, I am only one voice. Our collective voices mean so much more. So, talking about the polls, 369. I'll give you a couple more seconds. Jump in there and get your vote in real quick. Let's see if we can't get 370. Come on, give me one more vote. And the question was very simple. How would you rate Arcade1Up CES of this year? Not the year, not what they're going to have, not where they're going to go, but where they currently are now. I'll go ahead and I'm going to shut this down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much. I got that last vote, 370 votes. Let's go ahead and shut this thing down in the poll. And the poll results are in. Okay, so 370 votes. Thank everybody. Thank you so much for voting. So check this out. How would you rate Arcade1Up CES experience? At number 1, with almost half, with 46% of the vote. Disappointing. 32% of you say, good. Not the greatest, but good. So slightly above average. So 32% come in at good. 17%. This is alarming. Third place, 17% say a complete failure. It's not good. Complete failure is not good. Okay. And then we had 3% that said incredible. They were happy with what they got. And that's good. That's good. So once again, 46% say disappointing. 32% say good. 17% say complete failure. And 3% coming in at incredible. That is a voting tally total of 370 votes. Guys, girls, everybody here, thank you so much for hanging out with me for over 2 hours. I know it was kind of a slog, but it was important to get through that because I think there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to discuss. There's a lot to consider when you think about CES, and this is where Arcade1Up is headed. This is where our hobby, for the most part, is headed. There's some things to look forward to. There's some things to maybe be a little bit concerned about. But at the end of the day, I'll be back here next week with you to discuss it all. So everybody, thank you so much for stopping by and checking out the channel. Y'all have a blessed day. Have a blessed week. Don't work too hard. And I will see all of you next time. Peace.